Why am I leaving local? It's simple, man. I'm leaving local truck driving because it's just not a good fit for me. And if I'm being honest, first of all, disclaimer: if you're a local truck driver that's sensitive about anybody speaking anything about local truck driving, or you're not able to have an objective opinion presented to you, you can just leave the video now. If you're a troll or any of that shit, you ain't gonna leave, but you can leave right now. You know what I mean? This video isn't to bash local. This video isn't to disrespect anybody's perspective. It's only to present mine to you and let you know why I decided against local truck driving. And I'll probably never, and I've said this before, so it's gonna sound whatever. Take it with a grain of salt. I don't care, but this is why I will never, ever, ever, as long as I have a say so, and my health does not take a turn for the worse, I will never have a local truck driving job again in my life. All right, so here it is. Local was never a good fit for me, but I told myself, I allowed myself to uh, believe that it was a better fit. You know, I allowed myself. Oh, let me go out on this patio because my family finna walk in and they about to be loud as fuck, and I don't want to have to pause the video or take the video down or whatever. So let me walk in here. You know what I'm saying? On the patio, I can hear them now. Daddy, daddy, daddy. I gotta run and hide to make videos. That's why I don't make a lot of videos since I've been home as a local driver. Because you can't. You know what I'm saying? You can't. You'll never get no time to yourself. You know what I'm talking about? So, but anyways, I'm out here on the patio. So here's the deal. Back in 2017, well, really before, when I first came into trucking, the goal was to get back home. It was. I had it set it in my mind that I wanted to be a local truck driver. You know what I'm saying? Just because at that time, like, being home every day was just common. It was something that I was already used to and accustomed to just as a regular person, you know, a regular 9 to 5. So that was just something that I had put in my mind that I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't even a second thought. It wasn't even, you know, that was just what it was going to be. But what ended up happening was I went on OTR and I went out and experienced what it was to be an OTR driver. Hand shaking like a mug. I experienced what it was to be an OTR driver. I experienced, you know, the freedom, the lifestyle, and just the, you know, excitement of being on the road, making that type of money that I was making, anywhere from, you know, I started out at $700 a week to where I was making over $2,000 to $2,500 a week at Swift Transportation. And it was the greatest thing in the world, man. I could go out, run the road for 5, 6, 7 weeks at a time, which I would say, you know, running that, you know, nobody ever wants to run that forever, but that's what I was running at the time in the beginning. And I could come home for a week, 2 weeks, however long, and chill, do whatever we wanted. It provided us with a lifestyle that we had never experienced before. It provided us with opportunities that we never had before, you know, doing things that people in our family just had never done before. That's what OTR truck driving did. And when I came back from a lucrative vacation that we took to Myrtle Beach back in 2017. And I talk about this all the time. So if you're new to the channel, this may be new to you. But if you're not, I talk about that vacation all the time because that was the turning point in my career. Because that's when I came back from that vacation and decided that I wanted to go local, because I had such a great time with my family on that vacation that in my mind, I only had that great of a time because I had my family with me. You know what I mean? Not because I had made all the money that I had made and was able to blow that money by being OTR and running hard, but just simply because I was around my family. That was what I justified in my mind. I was with my family, so I was feeling that happy because I was around my family. So I left my lease at Swift Transportation, walked away from it, voluntarily. My lease didn't fail. I made it fail. You know what I mean? There was nothing wrong with Swift Transportation lease back at that time. I don't know how that lease is now. I haven't been there for at least 2 years. But anyway, so I left and I came local and I started running out of the port. And I immediately, at that time, realized that local truck driving was nothing like OTR truck driving. The freedom, the excitement, all that shit get washed away your first week of whatever job you choose. And I made excuses. I was saying, I used to say that, oh, it's just the port, or it's just this, it's just that. No, it's local truck driving as a whole. It is a job. Most of these places that you go to and you're gonna work local, you're gonna work on average 5 to 6 days a week. Now, somebody's going to come in these comments and they're going to say they have a different schedule than that. I want you to understand that they are an anomaly and that they have put in time before they got that type of position. There are not too many jobs where you're only going to work 4 days and make over $1,200 a week. It's just not. It's just unrealistic. 1099 or W2, I don't care. Without putting in at least 5 to 10 years of a bullshit position before you get to something like that. Okay, so you're going to work 5 to 6 days a week. You're not going to have a lot of time to spend with your family like you're hoping for. At least I didn't feel like I did. You think you're going to go local and you think that you're going to have all this crazy amount of time every day to just do whatever you want with your family. You're going to go to the beach. You're going to go out to eat. You're going to go to movies. You're going to have cookouts. You think every day is going to kind of be like a vacation. And then the weekend is always going to be just this amazing experience because you're making all this money and you're home and you ain't got to go on the road. It's nothing like that, man. At least that's not the norm. It's not. If somebody is having that type of experience as a local truck driver, they are an anomaly, and that's a very low percentage of representation of what local truck driving is. The average local truck driver, again, is working 5 to 6 days a week, probably working anywhere from 8, which I doubt it. I've never heard anybody working 8 hours. If they say that, they lying. But they're normally working 10 to 14 hours a day. Okay, that only leaves 10 hours. A 10-hour break. Okay, you got to understand, you travel to work, you travel from work. A lot of you people out here are driving 30 minutes to work and 30 minutes back home. That's an hour right there. So now you got 9 hours left. You got to get home, you got to take a shower, you got to eat dinner, you got to play daddy time, husband time, whatever time, doggy time. If you got dogs, cats, gerbils, whatever type of pets you got, that's going to take up about 3 hours right there. So you're talking about 4 hours just from driving to and from work and doing the politics of being home. So that's only 6 hours left to sleep. Where is this time that these people are speaking on where you're spending all of this quality time and doing all these amazing things? Oh, well, I do it on the weekend. Well, let me tell you about the weekend. 9 times out of 10, when you first start a local job, you're going to be working on the weekends. You just are. You can hang up having Saturdays off unless you work somewhere where the customers or the freight just don't move on Saturdays, like the port or like maybe some type of paper mill or some type of route where you're running a customer contract that they're closed on the weekends. If the customers are open on the weekends, you as the brand new local truck driver are going to be working the weekends. That's just how local works. It's more about seniority in the political game. You know what I mean? So that's how that's gonna go. So it's just, in my opinion, why local never worked for me was just because I always compared it to OTR, and you just can't. You can't. The freedom that you have as an OTR driver will never be replicated as a local truck driver. You may can dabble as a dedicated, maybe a regional driver, but it's just not the same. It's not. You know what I mean? Unless you become an owner-operator that's only driving inside of a 100-mile radius, then you got a lot more control. But when you're a local truck driver, man, it's a job. It's more of a job than a regular job is. Because you got to deal with all the stresses of being a local truck driver and all the stresses of having a 9-to-5. So you're putting both of those together. Truck drivers already have different type of stress than a regular job. And then you got the type of stress you deal with by working a 9-to-5 job. So you add that plus the stress of being a truck driver. So now you have double the stress of a regular job because you're a truck driver. Do a 9-to-5. Again, man, I'm not knocking it. but it's just not for me. And I've been fighting that shit for 3 goddamn years, man. I've been up here vouching for local for 3 years, speaking against OTR, going back and forth with other YouTubers like Trucker Brown and King D Raj and all these other YouTubers up here, man, trying to convince people that local was a good thing to do. And I'm not saying that it's not a good thing to do. I'm just saying for me, I just wish I'd have never went local, man. Just be honest with you. I don't care what my old videos say. I don't care what I've said and done. I don't care about none of that. Again, I'm restarting my life right now. You know what I mean? And one of the things about restarting my life is giving up this illusion that as a local truck driver, I can do the things that I want to do with my family and my time. It just does not exist. There's not enough hours in the day to do that type of lifestyle. It's just not. Sorry, call me what you want. I don't care. You can get mad, you can pout, you can make response videos, you can troll me, you can call me whatever name in the book you want to call me, but that still does not stop it from being true. You can come up here and put whatever imaginary local job that you've heard of in the comments and try to convince people otherwise. Hey man, I'm not up here trying to convince nobody nothing. I'm just telling you why I'm not gonna be local no more. So I don't give a fuck what you say in the comments. I'm going on the road and I'm staying on the road until a different type of position open up for me. But we ain't gonna get into the specifics of that right now, cause yeah, whatever. But so that's where I'm at with it, man. Local is just it's not for me. It's not for me. You know, I look at it like this. I used to look at it from perspective of um I don't know how I used to look at it, to be honest with you. I looked whatever way I was looking at, I was wrong. The way I look at it now, local is more for a W-2 9 to 5. I want to be a worker bee for the rest of my life. That is the way that I believe that local is. That's who that local is designed for the most part. I would say 90% of local is that. Don't get me wrong. You have local owner operators, but you know by then, a lot of them they local, but then they kind of not, because every once in a while they stretch their feet and they go out there and you know what I mean. So they're not restricted. You know what I mean. I'm talking about the 90% of local drivers who are gonna do what their boss tell them to do, and they don't have no other choice. You know what I'm saying? So, but I say local is more for the 9 to 5 worker bee type mindset. OTR for me is more so for the entrepreneurs, man, for the people looking to break the restraints of society, that want to just live their life how they want to live without really too much regulation, or minimum regulation, I should say. And you know, you just it's proven fact, man. If you want to own a truck, your best bet is to go OTR. If you want to grow in the trucking business, your best bet is to go OTR. If you don't want to be trapped or feel stagnant for the next 5 to 10 years, go OTR, man. With or without a family, that's just the honest truth. If you have a family, your family just gonna have to understand, man. Like if you know, families are expensive, man. I got a baby on the way, a 5-year-old son, and a wife who just gave up her business. You know what I'm saying? So as soon as we found out she was pregnant, that was a big part of the reason why I decided to just restart life, man, because it's just like, look at what I've been doing like for the last 3 years, and she been working, and we've been doing okay, but we ain't been doing what I feel like we should be at. You know what I mean? That we could have been, if I'd have been OTR them 3 years making the money I was making, you know, with Swift, over $2,000 a week, we'd have been way further than where we are now. You know what I'm saying? That's all I can compare it to, because I experienced that. I can't go off of what nobody else talking about. Oh, I made this local, I made that local. Well, them gigs ain't around here in Virginia. Let me just tell you. You know what I mean? The highest paid local gig I'm seeing around here on a 1099 is paying you about $1,600 a week, 15 to 16, and that ain't every week. Our W-2 cats around here may be making 18 to 2,000, but once you pay your car, your health insurance, your 401k, taxes hit you, your check ain't number $1,300, $1,400 any fucking ways. You know what I'm saying? So you doing a bunch of work, but you ain't gonna touch every dollar that you really making. You know what I mean? Like you would on the 1099. So it's just not that the shit that people be talking. And I've been that guy that's been in my comments, you know, and this person say that, this person, and I've hit niggas up, but like, okay, what you talking about? Like, y'all don't be thinking I be listening to y'all, but I be reaching out to a lot of these cats that come in here and talk about these positions, and they don't got nothing to say. They don't want to follow up with you or nothing like that. Maybe it's just because I'm a job hopper, but we all fucking job hoppers, especially in the local truck driving world. You want to meet some truck drivers, talk to a local truck driver. He done had 4 different local jobs in the last year, I guarantee it. Everybody know 1, 2, maybe even 3. So let's really keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it. When you think about trucking, and most of the truck drivers, most truck drivers don't start job hopping until they go local or regional, because that's where all the bullshit be at. They be cool with their first OTR gig, mega carrier. They'll stay there for like a year or two. The minute they go into that local world, that's when they start job hopping, switching around, hippity hopping, because that shit just be some bullshit, man. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Once you get accustomed to that OTR lifestyle, man, it's hard to transition back to that 9 to 5 mindset. It is. Some do it, but most don't. But it is what it is, man. So that's my opinion about local. That's why I'm not ever gonna be local again. That's why I'm restarting my whole trying to be a local truck driver has put me probably in a worse place than before I was in trucking altogether. To be honest, because before I was in trucking, I didn't know no better. I didn't know what type of money was out there for people without bachelor degrees and some type of specialized training. As a local truck driver, I knew that I could go OTR and make more money, but I still chose to settle and make less money. So therefore, I have prohibited me and mine from accumulating more success because of my selfish thought process of I don't want to be home, when being home has probably held me back. If I'm being a buck, and a lot of local drivers probably feel that way. They'll never say it because of their pride and ego, but being local sometimes holds you back, man. You ain't gonna grow but so much locally. There's no room for it. There's too many local drivers. There's no room. So, I mean, but that's what it is, man. That's just how I honestly feel. Take it how you want. Hate me for it, love me for it. It ain't gonna change. I see y'all on the road, man. I'm gone. As always, stay safe, stay positive, stay productive. God Family Trucking. I got a flight on Monday. I'm back on the road, baby.